Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Interview with Stanley Lewis, jazz musician. How you doing today, Stanley?
I'm doing well, sir. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, man. You know what? I had to get you on there because all my fans know I've been playing your music lately, man. I've been playing your music. Without any further ado, why don't you bless us with something right now?
Yes, indeed. A little past done.
All right.
Little past done.
Oh yeah, past done. Man, I'm gonna tell you something there. When we met at the what was that? Was that the fourth self improvement summit? Fifth self? It was in Atlanta. We get so many. I think it was the fifth one in Atlanta. I think. So
It was
lost your picture. Oh, you just keep talking, man. But it was
Okay.
great that you get it back on. There you go, fam. There you go. Man, I'm gonna tell you what. We met there and but they know me. Why don't you tell us about yourself?
Yes, indeed. I go by Stanley Lewis. Malif as in me lift you up with sound. My goal is to lift up the listener with sound. I'm on StanleyLewisMusic.com. And I create music that I try to help heal and seek to soothe the listener's ear. That's what I'm about.
And you know what, man, that is great to hear, man, because I remember when we met and you had that jazz, and you know me. I mean, yeah, I always had the music in the background, but to find some really good jazz. And when I listened to it, man, I had to hit you up. I said, man, I gotta get some of these tunes. I gotta get some of them. I mean, shoot, anything you got in the future, I'm hitting you up. But tell us something though. Tell us something. When did you get started in jazz? What's your history with it? Like playing instruments and all of that?
Well, I need to say, excuse me.
Okay.
I need to say, first of all, thank you. I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate all of the good, powerful work that you've done. Not that you just started doing, but that you've been doing,
Okay.
and making a difference. So I'm honored for this opportunity to be here, and I appreciate it, man. As far as when I got started in the music, I feel like it was as far back as I could remember. We had music everywhere in the house.
Okay.
It started in the church, actually. It was, the organ and the bass guitar going through the Pentecostal church. And, the pastor playing the saxophone and preaching too. And I thought that was real fascinating, But even at home, it was just a lot of music always around the house.
Okay.
My parents kept music going, Rance Allen, Shirley Caesar, Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, Johnny Taylor, and some more, but they would have me play when I started finally playing the saxophone in the 5th grade. Because that we would create musical instruments, man. We might take a broom or something and turn it into a guitar and just play around as kids, But music was just always around. It was a safe space. It was a space that I could make some mistakes. It was a space that I could be myself. And it was just for us as kids, man. So music was always around.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, that's great. Cause when you say about that, like, that broom guitar, I'm thinking about, the Cosby Kids and everything, coming up. We watched Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, and they had the Junkyard Band and everything. And I'm gonna tell you what, that music, really, to be able to play an instrument like that is a true gift, and that you are able to manifest your gift and really use it to lift up people. I just say thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And I'm speaking for a lot of people. There are a lot of jazz fans out there. Now, one question I have you ever played with a jazz band or professionally with a jazz band, anything like that?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
But I have had the opportunity to work with some really dope musicians, some really interesting people, man, very talented musicians and singers and songwriters. But I pretty much been doing things solo until I got ready to do the album.
Okay.
Because once I got ready to do the album, I always wanted to make an album. That was always a dream of mine, but it got to a point where I would pick the music up, put it down. I was working on some for a good little while. I started writing Live and Learn probably about 15 years ago, actually.
Okay.
One of the tracks on the album. But it came to a point where I realized that if I was going to make anything of substance and lasting value, that I would need a team. You know, I would need to branch out and at least collaborate quite a bit more to stretch outside of myself. And that's when I started working with the other musicians and other writers and things like that a lot more. But before that, using music to help myself heal, you know, I had the horn at the house, and if I was having a good day or a bad day, I was putting it through the music. I try to put all my experiences into the music.
Okay. And you know what? I think that's the thing, though. I like what you said about healing. Music itself, I mean, that's a universal language. I don't care what culture you go in. Music is important. I mean, we need to hear it. We need to, I mean, I've seen how music has helped family members. I've seen how music has helped children who might be on the spectrum, or they having issues, or people having ADHD, something like that, or mental health issues. Just music. That's the beauty of it. One of the things that has saddened me is when I heard about schools kind of taking away some music programs. Yeah, they still have bands and everything, but it's not like it used to be. It used to be everybody was playing something, even if they took a class in it, but it's not quite the same. And I think that's something that really has to be addressed. We really need to keep it going and stuff. So, I mean, that's the important, that is the important thing and everything. So, I mean, the songs you have on there, Past Done, that you just played, that's something I love, because I'll go through it. I say, okay, all right, well, I just played that yesterday. I just added that to a video. I have to add something else. And sometimes I'm just, you know, I might just put on something while I'm just sitting around here just chilling and everything. So now one of the things, you know, I keep showing your album here, and they can pick it up. They can get it from you if they just go to your website, right?
Yes, indeed. StanleyLewisMusic.com.
Okay, and that's going to, for everybody watching, that's going to be in the description box. That's going to be in the description box. I want y'all to support this brother and everything. Now, you got a couple more for us, don't you? Let me, you have another song for us, or another two? What else you have for?
I could do a couple. I'm thinking I could do a little bit of Your Love. It's a little grown and sexy joint.
Oh, snap. Hey, I'm going to tell you something now. Before you play, I'd like to hear you play that, because I want people to hear your music, but I'm going to tell you what, jazz. I mean, people don't realize just the power of it. Tell you what, why don't you play that one, and then afterwards we'll talk about maybe the history of jazz a little bit more. You like to do that?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. And for everyone listening, get this joint. Trust me, I love it. I mean, come on. Yeah, I know I used to be talking about relationships and stuff, but we're gonna let him play. It's like, look, and plus we're talking about some grown and sexy, so it's still some relationships in there. So take it away, Stan.
Yes, indeed. This is a collaboration that I did with a very talented young lady named Farrah Monet. We had good chemistry and had a lot of fun making this one. It's called Your Love.
All right, take it away, fam. Man. Oh, hey, you know what, bruh? You said grown and sexy, man. You know what? I can feel that. Like when I put it on, I try to put it on some videos that's really getting into some of the relationship stuff, the deeper, more positive stuff. And you mentioned a young lady that you collaborated with on this one.
Yes, indeed. Farrah Monet. Yeah, she's very talented. She's a singer, comes from a musical family herself. You know, I have musical roots in Creedmoor, North Carolina. Okay. But she has musical roots too. We both from Akron, Ohio, born and raised there. And she's been singing since she was a child. You know, okay. She was deep in the game, you know, before I even started making real music myself. So I was looking for a vocalist to help me out on one of the songs. And she agreed, you know, like I said, the universe and God lined everything up, man. Started sending people, you know, once I got it in my mind and in my heart that I wanted to move forward with that project. And a lot of people helped me make the dream come true. But she was special because we had good chemistry. And I came to her on this song just on asking her a couple questions about it. Started giving me input and, you know, the interplay and the chemistry, it turned into something completely different. And it was just an amazing experience, you know. She actually sang on Live and Learn too, but she actually co-wrote Your Love with me. And just, you know, just to put it out there, there is more coming. So,
all right.
You know,
well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
I like to have a instrumental and a vocal version of the same song with the same title, with the same underlying structure, but the two arrangements would be completely different. So they might sound like different songs. And like on the album, I got two of them like that. I got Live and Learn, which has an instrumental version, which is completely different arrangement from the vocal version. And then It's All About Love, which is the title track. And my favorite track out of all of them. But
I'm gonna tell you what, I love that track as well. And we gotta close out with that one. But one thing, I remember when you said a grown and sexy, adult and sexy. If you could address for a few minutes just the history of jazz, because when it first came out, when you had the brothers playing jazz in New Orleans, I mean, people don't realize how powerful it was, you know, just that form. And that's one of the reasons I love jazz, especially live, because yes, it's great to hear it on an album. And I want everybody to really get this brother's album. But when you in a live jam session, or jazz, you know, you're just playing free. It's just something about just the flow of it that is just, it is something you have to experience. You can't just even describe it, but it's like you're just feeling free. And I mean, I've been gone to some jazz jam sessions, and it could be something modest. Somebody might say something in the audience, all of a sudden they getting into it. Or I used to go to they used to have some jazz musicians playing at poetry readings, and sometimes somebody get up there with a really, really hot poem, and the jazz musicians will join in. It was just like, how? But if you could just talk a second about, you know, just the history of jazz. What do you know about it and everything?
Well, from my understanding, jazz started where a lot of music started, in a church.
Yes.
It didn't stay there, but those are the roots. And it moved out from the church into blues, and moved out from the blues into like the bebop and jazz. You know, jazz really was, from my understanding, around that bebop time frame, you know, 1920s, something like that, you know, with Duke. Saxophone, though, you know, it's like, man, there's so many. The history is so rich. It's just too many to name, but you know, I think about Coltrane, I think about Charlie Parker, I think about Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis. I mean, it just goes it just goes so deep, man. But the improvisation and the freedom and the flow involved with the jazz is what set it apart, because it was so free. It just seemed like a more free form, which actually me, because jazz and music in general is one of the few areas that I think where making a mistake is also part of the magic a lot of times, you know. Yeah, and I can't think of a lot of areas where that's other areas where that's true.
Hey, you know what? You got a point, because you see a jazz musician, you know, they might like slip, trip, and they still jamming and everything. And I'm gonna tell you what, that is a part of it. Especially the live show, you participate. It's a flow. And sometimes people don't even realize there was a mistake. The musician knows, but the musician's still going. But it's just that flow with it, because I mean, you know how we tend to look at things compartmentalized and just put it in this nice little neat box. Okay, we played this long and all of that, but just a really good jam session. Tell the truth. What was your favorite jam session? When did that happen?
Oh, not just a couple weeks ago, about a week ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I went to see Mike Phillips, and I'd heard some things, you know, from him, and a little bit before I went to see him. But when I went to actually see the concert, it was a life-changing experience for me, because I don't really get out a whole lot, man. I'm working on it, but I don't really get out a whole lot, and in terms of going to live shows, in terms of going to live musical performances. And then with COVID hitting, it just kind of put anyway. But I finally said, you know what, I'm going to go out and check out a live show. Mike Phillips was coming to Atlanta. I went to check him out, man, and the man is so prolific on the horn by himself. You know, he plays all of these runs out of this world, you know, and I'm more of a simple guy. I like to let a few of my notes speak. You know, I don't have the chops to, you know, go that strong with a whole lot of different notes and things like that. I kind of like Miles Davis' approach when it comes to that. But show, I went to see Mike Phillips, and I was amazed by the spontaneity and the flow of how the show, he weaved things in and out, getting on another instrument, transitioning smoothly into different pieces, showcasing different parts of his band that was there with him. And what he said when he wasn't playing with the horn, what he said through the mic with his mouth was even better.
Oh, wow.
And the actual playing was. And I said, wow, I didn't know, you know, I didn't know. And I'm in a constant state of learning. And when I got done with that show, it was like, it was nothing that I had ever experienced before, man. It was a certain level and a certain standard that he introduced me to, and that live performance experience. I mean, I've heard people talk about it, but I've been in the studio doing things. I got small children, you know, I can't take them to a concert, you know, that plays a role. So, but that show with Mike Phillips was by far the best. I've been to that cake easily.
Oh, okay. And you know what, man? And I think that's the thing with it, man. It still comes down to that music and stuff. Now, do you get to do any live? I mean, it's tough now with COVID. Have you been able to do anything live lately?
No, not lately. But I'm working on that. Yeah, I'm working on it. I've got a 3-year-old son, a 4-year-old son. I don't know if I'm, but
I understand, man.
Yeah, and it's a challenge for me to get out at times. So I'm doing what I can, but I'm also recognizing the value in getting out, the value in immersing myself in a live performance. I turned around at the Mike Phillips concert, and Montel Jordan, this is how we do it, right there. Right behind, he went up on the stage and he got called up to the stage and ended up singing with Mike Phillips. And that's just an example of the improvisation that comes along with that, because I don't think he showed up to the concert. Montel showed up to the concert thinking he was going to perform with Mike Phillips that night, but Mike called him on up, and they did a little impromptu thing. But I plan to get out to more live performances, as time moves on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand what it is with the kids now. Have they shown any interest in music or playing the sax yet? Uh-oh, you laughing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All the time. Yeah, my oldest daughter, Tato FDC, just released her single Cairo. It's on
wow.
digital. Yeah. She's
that's great.
She's heavy. And then the younger ones, we got a lot of the kid instruments. They get down with those just like we got down with the brooms and the toilet tissue with the paper towel with the tape on it to make a microphone. As when we were kids. They got some real mics now. So
yeah.
And I hope they all are better than me when they get done.
Well, you know what? Just because they have you, that's a great teacher, because that's a beautiful thing. Whatever they want to play, that their father has done it and you paved the way for them. And that's the beautiful thing, because my thing, it's like fathers, just be there for your children. And for to have their father as a jazz musician, doing his thing, and they see this. I mean, this is just totally normal to them. And yeah, they're going to do that improv on stage in 20 years, and they're going to call you up. You're going to be like, I'm just sitting here chilling. Oh, Dad, we got you. We have your instrument right here. They're going to get you up there, man. But you know what? That's going to be your proud moment, too. That's going to be your proud moment. I mean, and that's the thing. So, man, I mean, look, I want everybody to get this man's album. I want y'all to check him out. And just really, hey, look, people need to just really understand, especially Black people. I mean, yes, everybody will see this, but Black people understand just the creation of jazz. And I didn't really, as much as a bigger fan of jazz as I was, I didn't realize it was first started in the church. I mean, so much has come. I think so much music and so many musical artists, and particularly jazz artists. It's so many, and we can go into a lot of them, but we're just gonna keep it on jazz. I think we'll look back and say, you know what, we didn't realize the talent. We know they were talented, but just to have that much talent, that much genius existing at one time in history, that's incredible. I mean, that is incredible. And what jazz musicians have influenced. I mean, even bigger. I mean, even during segregation, you had whites who would come down to some jazz clubs. They'd be like, I mean, that's something. And like I said, the jazz, I mean, I wasn't, I love it. I wasn't, I ain't very good on music or something. I can snap my finger, but that's about it. But that's the thing. So before I tell you what, we want to do one final one before we get into that, before you take it away. Anything you want to say to our audience? Anything you want to share with us?
Sure. I mean, I read a quote some time ago. I can't remember exactly who said it, but it really stuck with me. It said, where words sometimes fail, sounds can often speak. And it really stuck with me because a lot of times it's like the sound can break barriers, and music is just a very powerful presence, man. And it can be used as a positive force or a negative force, which is our ancestors understood that and actually outlawed certain types of music, certain kinds. Yeah.
Man, we can get into a whole other conversation, because music, it gets past all these barriers. And I mean, our ancestors, just to say real quick, just how they used the drum to communicate,
to
talk. I mean, I mean, to help people, because it does, it taps into parts of our brain that we're not even conscious of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why you can get a group of people, different races, different incomes, and everything all in one place just to listen to music, and everybody's happy. That's how powerful it is. I mean, you have a powerful gift. That's why I wanted to have you play some stuff on here and get you on here. I want to promote your stuff, and you already know I'm waiting for your next album. I'm gonna be hitting you up and stuff on IG, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, you gotta get us. You gotta get us. Now, before we jump into your final piece and conclude all of this, how can people contact you?
Sure. Yeah, they can contact me through my website. That's StanleyLewisMusic.com.
Okay.
Stanley, Lewis music.com. And also I'm on Facebook under Stanley Lewis and Malif Lewis. I'm also on IG under Stanley Malif Lewis, and YouTube under Stanley Malif Lewis. So between my website and the other channels, platforms that I'm on, I'm not hard to find.
All right, man. All right. Hey, look, I want to thank you for coming on. It was an honor. And I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be like going through this and I'm going to be like, shit, I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to be chilling. I'm just going to put this recording on. But I want to thank you for coming, and I appreciate you. And you know what? Maybe we'll get some other musicians on here. We'll have a jam, just have a jam session. I might do a live stream for that, just a jam session. Let y'all just do y'all thing. I mean, shit, I'm making a call now for it. I'm like, hey, everybody get on here. We're just going to jam. Well, y'all going to jam. I'm just going to sit there and just run the controls.
I would love it. I would love it.
Right.
I think about jam sessions, and I start to think about how back during certain church services and or after church, some of the groups that have played with in the past would get together and do some kind of like a jam session there. And just the beauty of everybody adding their piece to the pot and turning it into like a nice gumbo. That's a beautiful thing.
That is, man. That is beautiful. That's just people coming together. And, I've seen people do that with drumming in different areas, music and poetry readings. People just bring an instrument and they just do their thing. So that's beautiful. So I want to thank you for coming, and hey, take us away, man.
We'll do it. This is It's All About Love. The first 30 seconds of this instrumental version is a birth. 5 seconds in, the sperm hits the egg. About 30 seconds into the song, conception, delivery occurs. And that's when the song starts. This song is the life cycle. It's my depiction of a life cycle. So at the end of the song, things slow down, and it just goes to show that from the beginning of conception to the last breath, it's all about love everywhere in between that. Yeah.
All right, man. Once
Yes,
again,
sir.
thank you for coming. And for our listening audience, just check out his website, check out his Facebook and IG, and definitely get this. So thank you for coming. And for everyone, have a great evening. Peace and blessings.